So let's talk about something really interesting, how your mind and body can actually be trained to switch states almost on command. This is where visual, auditory and kinesthetic anchors come in. Think of an anchor like a shortcut to a feeling. You know when you hear a song and it takes you back to a certain moment in your life. That's an anchor. Your brain has linked that sound to an emotion. Now there are three main types. First are visual anchors. These are things you see. Might be an image, a memory, or even something like a vision board. For example, if you picture a moment where you felt super confident, perhaps you nailed a presentation or achieved something big. Your brain starts to recreate that feeling. Athletes do this all the time. They visualize success before it happens, and it helps their performance. Then you've got auditory anchors, basically sounds. Now music is the obvious one, but it can also be your own voice, things like affirmations, or even a certain phrase you repeat to yourself, and over time your brain connects that sound with a certain state like calmness or confidence. And then there are kinesthetic anchors, which are all about touch and physical sensation. This is a really powerful one. It could be something simple like pressing your fingers together, placing your hand on your chest, or even just standing in a certain posture. If you do that while you're feeling a strong, positive emotion and repeat it enough times, your body starts to associate that movement with that feeling. So eventually, just doing the gesture can bring the feeling back. Now, all of this becomes way more effective when you understand something called the alpha state. The alpha state is basically a brainwave state where you're deeply relaxed but still aware. It's that feeling just before you fall asleep, or when you've just woken up and you're in that kind of dreamy yet calm space. And in this state, your mind is way more open. You don't analyze so much. You're less critical. You're much more receptive. And that's why it's such a powerful place for things like visualization, affirmations, and anchoring. So the question is, how do you get yourself into that state? And this is where breathwork comes in. Your breath is one of the most powerful and quickest ways to change how you feel. When you slow your breathing down, especially when you make your exhales longer than your inhales, you're telling your nervous system that you're safe. Your body starts to relax, your heart rate slows, and your mind follows. Something super simple you can try is breathing in for 4 seconds and out for 6 or 8. Do this for a couple of minutes and you'll notice the shift. And here's where it all connects. If you combine breathwork with anchoring, so you're breathing deeply as you visualize something powerful, or while using a physical gesture, you're training your brain faster. You're linking that calm, focused state with whatever anchor you wish to create. Now, hypnosis isn't what people often think. It's not about being controlled or doing weird things. It's just a state of focused attention. When you're in hypnosis, you're in that alpha state, or perhaps deeper. Your mind is relaxed, focused, and much more open to suggestion. It's kind of like when you're completely absorbed in a movie or a book. You're still aware, but your attention is locked in. In this state, anchors become even more powerful because your subconscious mind is more active, and you can create stronger associations. So if you're visualizing confidence or calmness or motivation and pairing it with a sound or a movement, it sticks more deeply. That's why people use hypnosis for things like breaking habits, reducing anxiety, or improving performance, especially in sport and music. So when you put it all together, you've got this really powerful combination. Anchors give you the trigger Breathwork helps you relax and get into the right state. The alpha state makes your mind more receptive, and hypnosis helps lock it all in. And the best part is, you don't need anything difficult or complex to start. You can practice this on your own. Pick a feeling you'd like more of: confidence, calm, focus, joy, energy, and get yourself relaxed with your breathing. Bring that feeling up as strongly as you can, perhaps through a memory or imagination, and then add an anchor, a gesture, a word, or an image, and it's locked in. Repeat this a few times, and you're training your brain to access this state whenever you wish. Simple, effective, and powerful. See you next time.